I'm back. Well, today is a beautiful day. It's just a slight breeze, about 50 degrees out, but in the sunshine, it's perfect working conditions. I think it's September 13th, and summer's gone. It's over. Temperature every day gets a little less, but that's okay. That's just how seasons go. And you know what? Fall's a fun time of the year. You can get a lot of work done. You're not sweating like crazy. And the bugs are gone mostly. There's not a lot of bugs out, no mosquitoes. The flies aren't bad. It just makes working nice. So as much as we'd like to just take off the rest of the fall, harvest is done, put a little winter in, call it good, and quit and hunt and travel and do all that good stuff, now's the time to do the work that you can't do while you're farming. But yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, we made a little mess when we were loading the clean seed back into the bin after you guys saw that video of us cleaning the seed with Mike. And well, the auger spout at the top, which is over here, this 13-inch, not the yellow one, the one behind it. It got hung up on the lid for a second, and the spout cups that fit inside the top of the bin, well, one of them was angled a little bit and it lipped over the edge and spilt about 10 or 15 bushel of seed on the ground. But we have this, our grain vac. This thing is awesome for that. Cleans up messes quick. The only thing is, it's been highly neglected for maintenance. I need to go through all the hoses, the tubes, the clamps, all need adjusted, tightening, and I need to grease the thing up. I got to change the chain on the unloading auger, and then the tractor itself, I want to go through the fluids on it too and just make sure everything's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's make a video of this and we'll go with it there, and then load the seed up and figure out what we want to do with it. So, okay, stay tuned. This is our 4520. It's got not a lot of hours on it, but this isn't the original engine. This is out of a 1978 7700 turbo combine, and the engine itself probably has 4,400 hours on it. It needs a rack run, I can tell. The injectors might be, they might need a little bit of work done to them, but it runs really good. It's great for powering a grain vac because that engine is designed to run wide open in a combine. Well, we don't run it wide open. We run it only about 2,000 RPM. That runs that vac perfect. So not too long ago, you guys seen the time lapse, I'm sure, we split this tractor in half, pulled the old engine out. The block was cracked in that old engine. The heads were shot. It needed replaced. It's too bad it's not the original engine, but this is very similar. They put these in later on in these tractors. So this is a good engine to be in here. I've heard a lot of guys say this is one of the better engines they made. This Bosch injection pump is where it's at. That's what makes this engine. So, but it's a fun tractor to start up. So I'm going to go ahead and run this to the shop and we'll get working on it. See our homemade steps here. Okay, let's see here. See, it doesn't even have an hour meter on it. Oh wait, no, there it is. Yeah, it does. There's the hour meter. 4635. So, I mean, not a lot of hours, but we've used this tractor quite a bit throughout the years. I don't know if they bought it new when they bought it, but it's been a good machine. I ran this a lot when I was growing up as a teenager. Pushed a lot of snow around. Did things I probably shouldn't have with it. So, let's fire her up. This is the best part about these Bosch injection pumps. Wait for it. There we go. See the white smoke? That's normal for a diesel when they first start up. The ring's got to seat tight. It's got to get some heat generated in there. But you can tell, I know this thing smokes more than it should. I mean, you can see it in the sunlight there. It needs the rack run. I'm sure the valves need set. We just never did any of that. This engine came out of that combine and we put it right in this tractor. Didn't touch a single thing inside of it internally or the injection pump or anything. It's got hours on it. So the one complaint is with this more horsepower we got here and running the vac, our radiator here is not really big enough. It really needs a bigger radiator. We might have to look into either adding another radiator with a lot of space here and double the radiators up, or find one with the more cores in it so it can adequately cool us. In the winter time, it's fine. It stays cool in the winter, but in the summer when it's 90 degrees out and you're running the grain vac wide open, there's just not a lot of airflow, even with that fan cranking, and it does start to get warm. So let's run this over to the shop. Now this tractor, the mechanism in here for the lever to shift gears gears, you're reverse and forward and neutral. So what I gotta do is I basically just take it, push the clutch in, put up in the gear you want, push the lever forward, that's forward for drive, let the clutch out. And it's a power shift, so I can just bump it up with my thumb here, go through the gears. This engine, the old one revved idled a little lower. It was like 700 RPM is what it idled at. This one's probably sitting right at 900, it looks like. It idles a little higher. That's kind of the way the combine was set to run. We haven't changed it. I don't know. It seems to be fine. But when we did this, we did put a new clutch in it. We had the flywheel face, new throw-out bearing, the pilot bearing. So it should be pretty mechanically sound that way. The transmission has been worked on in the past. And then your throttle is right here. Let's go ahead and pull up on the concrete up here. My dad's working on the grain deck. For some reason it jammed up on us yesterday. We don't know why. We haven't figured it out yet. I'll see if he's found the cause yet. I'm sure a rock got in there and jammed it up, but put this right aside here. To shut this off, I had to put this choke cable right here, and you pull on it, and that turns it off. So first thing I'm going to try to do here is, let's take a look at this chain. I don't think we've ever replaced it since we've had this vac, and it is about maxed out in adjustment. And it's not good to let your chain get this wore, because what it ends up doing is the chain starts to climb on the teeth of the sprocket, and then you get wear on there. But see how loose this is? Look how bad that is. This baby's wore, and I believe, yeah, see that adjustment is just about maxed out. So we got to find the joint, which is right here. I'm going to take these little pins out, pull them out. This is the key, and then pop that out. Then we can take this chain off. There we go. Got it. There we go. There it is. One down. Two down. Take this guy off like that. Hammer here. Take the link out. Right there. And stick the chain. Fold this over. Let's go take a look at this chain. We'll put it on a line like that. Two tests you can do is the, oh yeah, you got all that play in that thing. You should be able to pull, when you pull on this end, a new chain will instantly pull the other side too. This one, got all that slop in that chain. I'll show you from up above. See that? And then the side to side. Got a chain shot. Okay, let's try a new chain. See, I can't even, it just bunches up. There we go. So the little bit I'm pulling on this end is moving the opposite end, the exact same. This one, yeah, it's bad. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna line up every one of these joints, old chain, new chain side by side here. And then we'll know how long to make the new chain. Right there. This section right here, I don't want this link. Mark that like that. There we go. I'll take that on the bench. And then my plan is, what I'll do, is we're gonna pop the pin out of this one right here. and then that'll match up with this link. And then I can take this new chain, put it on the back. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the grinder, I'm gonna grind the top of this riveted end here. We'll cut this pin out, I'll take the saw, grind off the top, pin will pop right out, and then I'll be able to separate this chain really quickly. So you can see I ground the top of that off. So I'm gonna take a punch, we're gonna put this right here like that. I'm gonna smack it with a hammer. That'll work. Let's get a big old hammer. Perfect. Almost there. See, just about got it through. I'm gonna stack two of these broken shanks on top of each other here. Okay, so I got the pin out. You can see right there. This chain will now separate, like so. It's only curl up the end I don't want. Here's the chain that we made. So I have the joint right here. That's what I'm gonna use to put it back together again and put it on the grain back. I'm gonna have to loosen this nut up, pull this tensioner wheel back, this idler with here all the way back. I'll loop the chain through, put the pin through, and then when I get the key here put in, tighten everything back up. I'm gonna take this tensioner pulley, I'm gonna press it down as far as I can to get tension back in the chain, so the chain's nice and snug. Tighten it back up again. Looks like 15/16. Loosen up a little bit. There we go, perfect. Let's see right there, got a broken tooth on the sprocket. Not only one, but there's two of them. One there and one there, so I'll have to get a new sprocket, but this will run for now. Take the link, put it through like that. Now the chain's joined. Then I take this right here, and you're supposed to kind of keep track of which way the chain turns, and then put the pin in accordingly. These little pins here, my needle nose, pull the ends over, like so. Curl that around, curl this around. All right, so the chain is officially on. It's not going anywhere, it's staying on there. Now I gotta tighten it up. That's what this is right here. Just pull this down. I'm gonna snug it up a little bit here. So it starts to grab. I'm gonna take this hammer. Tighten that up. Chain is on. Okay, I gotta get some grease in this thing now. There's a number of grease zerks on here. One right here, and here, and right here, and here, and there, and right there, and that one, this one, and this one, and that one, and this one, that one, that one, that one, this one right here, this one right here, and that one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and that one, and this one. There we go. She's greased. Might as well get the tractor while we're at it. That one, this one, that one, and this one, and this one. Yeah, that one right there, and that one, and that one, and this one, that one, and that one. Can't forget this one. Oh, there, finally. Done with the grease gun. Reason we have to grease machinery is metal doesn't like to run on metal very well. And even though some of these are ball bearing bearings or pin bearings, they still create friction, and grease is a good way to prevent friction. It helps distribute the heat and keeps parts from wearing into each other. So every now and then you got to go through, you just got to grease everything. Some of these things are literally like, for how little steering we do on this tractor, because it just parks in front of a grain bin and powers the vac. I mean, this whole steering that I just greased here probably only needs it every like 500 to 1,000 hours, just because we hardly are turning the thing. We're not going down a field steering all the day long. But water gets into those joints. There's bushings in there. And when the water gets in, creates rust. Rust gets in, creates more friction, causes problems, things break. So it's a good idea to keep grease in your machinery. New machinery is doing a lot better job. They've found ways to improve bearings. They've sealed them tighter. They have bushings that aren't necessary, that don't need grease. So it seems like newer machines have fewer and fewer grease zerks. I used to think that was a bad thing. I used to think if you're getting rid of the grease zerk, you're going to have a unit that's going to wear out, and then we're going to have to replace the whole thing when I could have just greased it. But as it turns out, more and more I've realized, it seems like stuff actually, sometimes you grease stuff and you actually lessen the lifespan of it by over-greasing it. So it's just kind of interesting how things are changing. So let's jump on the Honda here and see if my dad needs a hand hooking the harrow up to the bud. Battery on this thing just got to the point where it's too weak to start, so you got to pull start it now. So he's got her hooked up. He's got some maintenance to do on some CRP land of a neighbor of ours. So we're going to run the heavy harrow through it. That counts as maintenance. So the 435 is going to get the job today, and it's going to go and run around. There's only about, I think, 80 acres to do, so he'll have that done shortly. It's a 70-foot right-way harrow, so that's plenty of harrow. Let's go clean up a grain mess. Okay, back where we were the other day. Prefer not to have been coming back here to do this, but accidents happen sometimes, and we didn't catch that auger spilled over the backside of this bin until too late. So I'll get as close as I can. Right there. Let's put this thing in park. Now, extend the auger out. It's pretty cool how they've engineered it. And perfect. This is the grain that's spilt. So I'm going to take the hoses here. I'm going to run as much length as I can, get it here, and I'm just going to keep slowly sucking this down. There's not a lot here, 50 bushel maybe. I don't know if it's that much. More than we would like. That's clean. See, we paid to have that cleaned, and well, it's not going to be cleaned again, so we'll probably haul that in and sell it for what it's worth. But it's not a lot. We'll get it done, so that's what's nice. So we got the 5200EX Brant. So let me get the truck fired up. Oh, there's my water bottle. I was looking for that. This actually has some air still in it. And then we gotta take some hoses off. Easy for me. Like that. Everything's hooked up. Let's fire the tractor up. Okay, there we go. That's all I had to do. Our exhaust blew over, you can see. I gotta tighten that latch on there so it holds tighter. Let's take a look at the carnage here. This is the beauty of the grain vac. No, I did not get paid by Brandt to do this video, but you guys saw the pile here. I could have done even more of a thorough job. A little bit of grain, some of this, but I mean, look how well it combs that grass. You'll get some grass that gets pulled through, a couple rocks here and there. I mean, you can't expect not to pull something off the ground. But overall, it's impressive how much it'll pull through all this. It's a great way to clean up if you got some wheat that's spilled. You got to pick it up real fast. So yeah, highly recommend a vac. But they're not the easiest thing to maneuver around. There's a lot of weight in those tubes. They are aluminum, but still, well, actually no, that one's aluminum. These ones are stainless steel. But even with the rubber hose, you add that up, and 7-inch hose with a bunch of grain piled in as it's sucking through. It gets heavy to move around. So yeah, good though. That's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and put stuff back on the grain back here, put all the hoses back on. I'm gonna try my phone's time lapse thing again. Hopefully that works out. It's the first time trying it on my phone. I usually use GoPros for time lapses. So I'll wing this up, get this put away, and then I'm gonna drive the truck back to the shop, and that might be the end of the video. We'll see how it goes. All right, hang tight.